Good morning, survivors. It's Make It Happen Monday. Let's talk about the question of the day. The question of the day is, why do narcissists and empaths tend to be so attracted to one another? Shall we? The reason is simple. See, the thing is that narcissists need someone who will react to their emotions because their emotions are how they control people. And empaths are wired by nature to react to emotion in general. So when a narcissist starts behaving in such a way that he or she is, behaving like a juvenile, behaving like they are someone who doesn't have the ability or the need to begin to be self-actualized. Does that make any sense? They need supply, and supply. Supply comes in the form of of someone who they can manipulate and control. So the best way that you can deal with that is to not allow yourself to be manipulated and controlled. Of course, that's a lot easier said than done when you're dealing with a narcissist because they're professional manipulators. So just understand that as an empath, you cannot, it's your nature, again, to want to respond and with emotion and to try to soothe the emotions of the narcissist. And unfortunately, as an empath, you're going to attract these people into your life and you may have even come from a narcissistic family or parent, where you have one or both of your parents who are narcissists. That tends to somehow make us more attractive to narcissists. And I believe the reason is because we tend to be wired differently than some people, because we tend to want to soothe, as I said, soothe the emotions, the extreme emotions of the narcissist. And so the people in our lives who come into our lives, we are already in the position where we don't think we're good enough. And so for us to have someone who actively tells us so makes us just want to try harder, and that's no good for us. So how did we get there? How did we get to that place where we allowed the narcissist to control us? Let's talk about that. So we go into the relationship with an open heart because we're empaths and that's what we do, right? And we want to be loved completely. And so therefore we do what you do when you want to be loved completely. We love completely. And the narcissist feels that with us, and they know that we are someone who there's a hummingbird. I'm looking at it, so cute. Anyway, the narcissist is aware of that. The narcissist knows that we are those people who they can essentially abuse because we show them that. They do these little tests with us, okay? And we show them that we can be controlled by them without us even realizing it. It's not because we're stupid. It's not because we're slow. It's really, really only because of the fact that we care too much. We try too hard. We see a problem, and instead of instantly assuming that the problem is with the narcissist, we assume that it's with ourselves, even if we initially realize it's the narcissist that's causing the problem. But then something in ourselves allows us to convince ourselves, and a lot of times it has to do with the manipulation of the narcissist, allows us to convince ourselves that maybe they're right, maybe there really is something wrong with us. So we go about the business of changing ourselves. And then once we've done that, and we realize, okay, well, I did this, this, and this, and now I'm becoming the person the narcissist apparently wants me to be, guess what? There's something else they have to complain about. It's never enough. That is the plight of an empath and a narcissist. So at some point you might get sick and tired of it and realize it's not you. By the way, it's not. And you might say, you know what? I'm done. And then you get to go about, Then you get to go about the business of making your life even harder for a minute, but it might be worth it because you can go no contact with the narcissist. Now, if you have children with this person, or if this person's in your family, that's a whole other ball of wax, and it changes things. So the best thing you can do is learn to be strong, learn to stand on your own 2 feet, and learn to not need the narcissist. It's a process. So when you consider all that, there's really only so much you can do to deal with a narcissist. If you can't go no contact or low contact because you have children, or with the narcissist, or because it's someone in your family and you're not willing to do that, then what you have to do is try this 2-step thing. I've talked about it before. Step 1 is just simply don't reward bad behavior with a reaction. So what you want to do is you want to, when they come at you and they gaslight you and they manipulate you and shout at you and yell at you and scream at you, or whatever their version of that is, instead of reacting like you normally would, you stop and you just go, you know what? I'm not going to react to that anymore. And you gray rock. You If they expect you to scream and yell back, then you don't do that. If they expect you to cry, don't do that. Just do something different. React in a way that doesn't, or don't react, in a way that doesn't provoke them, or don't react at all, okay? And then if you want them to be nice to you, what you do is you reinforce their good behavior. So when they're in that love bombing phase, or the occasional, nicety comes around, then you reward them by giving them positive praise and positive reinforcement. It's similar to how you train a dog. And I'm not trying to be funny, but it works. It's not a permanent solution, mind you. And if you are going to use this option to make a narcissist be nice to you, then what you have to do is you have to understand that it becomes a way of life until you're finished with a narcissist. So you might want to consider going no contact if you can. All right? That's what I've got for you today. So let me know your thoughts. How do you deal with a narcissist? Are you personally an empath? If you are, do you find that being with a narcissist causes you to kind of get fuzzy and cloudy and foggy? And if so, what are your struggles with that stuff? Leave me a comment below, and I will be happy to respond to you. Okay? Stay tuned. Talk to you soon. So the best thing you can do if you're dealing with a narcissist, obviously, is go no contact. If you can't do that, then you can use the gray rock technique to avoid dramatic interactions, and then you can use positive reinforcement to encourage positive behavior from the narcissist. And you will find that when you say things like, I'm so proud of you, or you're doing such a great job, or you're so good looking, or whatever, they'll be very receptive to that stuff. So if you ever have to bring any criticism to them, you can do it in such a way that they can understand that they're amazing and awesome. And like, for example, if they take out the trash, if they take out the trash, you can just go, oh, you're so awesome, thank you so much, you're my hero, almost, every person wants to be considered important, and narcissists are no exception. But they, as you know, are more likely to think they're important than you. So if you have to deal with one and you want to put them in a position to be respectful to you, or at least kind, that's the way to go. You can just simply use that two-step program, use that two-step plan, and that does the trick. But it doesn't always work, of course, as you know. And if you're dealing with a narcissist who is physically abusive, you need to leave. It doesn't matter at this point if you have children with them or not. It's not good for your kids to see you getting hit. It's not good for your kids to see you getting trashed. So consider that. Consider what you're showing your kids if you are in an abusive relationship, or what you're showing anyone in your life. You don't want anyone to think it's acceptable to be abused, physically or mentally. But when it's a physical abuse situation, like I've always said, you cannot fix your head until your body is safe. Okay? So get your body safe if that's the case. All right. Now it's time for a music break. You know how I love to sing in the car? Well, I do that because it's a form of meditation for me, and it helps clear my head. So here we go. Said if you want to call me baby, just go ahead now. And if you'd like to tell me maybe, just go ahead now. And if you want to buy me flowers, just go ahead now. And if you'd like to talk for hours, just go ahead now. Just got home from taking Sophie to school, so now I'm about to start my day. All right, so y'all have a good day, and I'll see you soon. And don't forget to be drinking your water for Project Blissful this week. Tomorrow I'm going to tell you the next step in our plan to get healthier physically. Okay, let's do it.